pretty close to having a deal on Gaza and maybe even peace. It's Benjamin Netanyahu's fourth visit to the White House since President Trump took office for the second time in January. And with the war on Gaza nearing its 2-year mark, all eyes are on Washington to see if a ceasefire deal will be announced. On Sunday, Trump took to his social platform Truth Social to say there's a, quote, real chance for greatness in the Middle East, and that all sides are on board for something special. Netanyahu will once again sit down with his biggest ally in the midst of a blow to his right-wing government's expansionist vision. I will not allow Israel to annex the West Bank. No, I will not allow it. It's not going to happen. In February, Trump and Netanyahu discussed a now condemned plan for the Gaza Strip. The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it too. We'll own it. A gleeful Netanyahu stood alongside the American president as the Israeli premier's right-wing government fawned over the idea of expelling the Palestinian population from their homeland. In April, the Israeli premier visited the White House for a second time, this time to talk Iran and tariffs. We're having direct talks with Iran, and they've started it. But Netanyahu, visibly surprised, returned to Israel empty-handed after learning the U.S. was actively engaging with Iranians on a new nuclear deal. We agree that Iran will not have nuclear weapons. This can be done in an agreement. If they simply drag out the discussions, then the military option becomes inevitable. Despite President Trump at least verbalizing his opposition to more armed conflict, an emboldened Netanyahu decided to carry on with expanding the war in Gaza and spark up new conflicts in the region, like the war with Iran. And even with American support for Israel's war in Gaza, President Trump had ordered for Israeli fighter jets to turn around once a ceasefire was announced, that they don't know what they're doing. For his third visit to the White House after both Israel and the United States bombed Iran, Netanyahu, a prime minister with an arrest warrant for war crimes, presented President Trump with a letter nominating him for the Nobel Peace Prize. They should get it. Later on in September, in an unseen turn of events, Netanyahu ordered his military to carry out an airstrike in the Qatari capital, targeting senior Hamas officials who were discussing the latest U.S. ceasefire proposal. After the world's condemnation of the unprecedented attack came pouring in, Netanyahu said he wouldn't rule out attacking Doha again, but President Trump says otherwise. Well, he won't be heading in Qatar. Israel's war on Gaza and subsequent military actions in the region have isolated Benjamin Netanyahu internationally, and now the Israeli premier will have to answer to both the United States and his people about when the war will finally end. Hamzan Hudin Jeza, don't miss out. Get the full picture. Subscribe to Al Jazeera for reliable news, expert insight,